UEFA Europa League round of 16 second leg action taking place today. Arsenal up against Sporting coming into the second leg, 2-2 from the opening leg. They ended 1-1 after full and extra time, and now they are heading to penalties in that game.
And the Sporting fans will have a close-up view of this penalty shootout. A reminder for both goalkeepers from the referee about making sure that you're in contact with the goal line when the penalty is struck. Otherwise, there might be a retake. Sporting to take first. Jeremiah St. Just is the man. The Dutch defender strides forward. Ramsdale will try to delay, try to get in his mind. Here's the first penalty kick of the shootout. St. Just against Ramsdale. Scores. Can't watch Ruben Amorim. Ødegaard for Arsenal, wearing the captain's armband, having come on the pitch in extra time. Martin Ødegaard, the Norwegian club captain of Arsenal, facing Antonio Adan, and scores. And celebrates. And orchestrates this crowd to be yet more supportive. 1-1 after a penalty each. Ricardo Isjao comes forward. The 29-year-old faces Aaron Ramsdale and scores. Ramsdale went the right way, but it's a very, very good penalty from Ricardo Isjao. Enough pace on it just to beat Ramsdale. And Saka strides forward. Has recovered from penalty heartbreak in his career. Once already, having missed for England in the Euro 2020 shootout final against Italy. But he's 100% from 2 penalties for Arsenal this season. Saka against Antonio Adan. Scores for Arsenal. 2-2 after 2 penalties each. Kim Kardashian is here tonight. Gonzalo Inacio for Sporting. Inacio saying, no, it's gone in. Oh, he got 2 hands to it, Ramsdale. Be absolutely kicking himself. He so nearly kept that out. All around the ground they thought he'd saved it. I thought he'd saved it. He probably thought he'd saved it. But Sporting leads 3-2 in the shootout, and Leandro Trossard comes forward for Arsenal. And the pressure mounts each time And the advantage of going first is becoming more evident now, as Sporting have scored 3, and Trossard knows if he misses, there's ever more chance that it might be a decisive miss. And he scores just. (3-3) on penalties, which is the same as the aggregate score. It went under Adan's arm, only just in, but it was good enough. Good enough. And Arthur strides forward. On late in the game, the Brazilian. Has he got the nerve as he faces Ramsdale? Yes, he has. 4-3 Sporting. Again, Ramsdale very close to it. Who blinks first? Forward now, Martinelli for Arsenal. The agony will soon, for one of these sides, be ecstasy. Martinelli. Saved by Antonio Adan. Martinelli's penalty is saved, and Sporting have the advantage. Wasn't quite down the middle, but it certainly wasn't in the corner. Nuno Santos to take Sporting's 5th penalty. And if he scores, they are into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. And he does! Sporting are through to the last 8 of the Europa League. Nuno Santos with the decisive penalty. They have knocked out Arsenal on their own soil in North London, and there will be long, long celebrations now for those Sporting fans. My goodness me, what a game. What a game it's been. But Arsenal are out, and it's Gabriel Martinelli who has to live with that penalty miss. Ruben Amorim and Sporting are into the last 8.
Yeah, Arsenal knocked out at the Emirates. Many thought that coming into this second leg they would get the job done, but they haven't quite gotten it done. They have been beaten by a Sporting side that gave it everything they had today. Sporting actually went behind in this second leg, and they found a way back in it. Granit Xhaka scoring the opening goal for Arsenal in the 19th minute, and Goncalves getting the equaliser for Sporting as they go on to win it. Lance and Mariah, a big moment for Sporting in the Europa League as they advance to the last 8.
Yeah, definitely a big moment, and it shows you that, you know, sometimes, Ricardo, form has nothing to do with it. You know, the momentum that a team is on has nothing to do with it. It all comes down to the moment. And we had a fun time on set here looking at the penalties. You and Lance predicting who looked extremely nervous, who was not nervous. I couldn't tell the difference, but of course, you know, you see how important it is when you show up for your team at that particular moment. And the commentator was right. Martinelli now will have to deal with that feeling, knowing that, you know, he sort of robbed his team. Well, he did. He robbed his team from advancing. A
resilient performance by Sporting. They trailed 3-2 on aggregate for a long period in this second leg fixture, and winning on penalties, showing a lot of nerve or control of nervous energy, and always disappointing to see a good team exiting on penalties, because it is a tough time for the players during these moments of kicking penalties.
And you're very much right, Lance. A resilient performance from the Sporting team. They also went down to 10 men.
Yes.
Yeah.
118th minute of the contest, so they would have played the last few minutes of extra time with 10, but despite all of that, they have found a way. Could potentially be a costly match for Arsenal because they had a number of players limping around and holding on to hamstrings. So we'll have to watch over the next few days exactly how they come away from that and whether any of those concerns turn out to be serious for the Arsenal team.
Yeah, and I know the Arsenal fans will be very, very worried. And I say that because, you know, Arsenal has been playing with a lot of momentum, confidence, getting the job done for most of the season, and it would be unfortunate now for their key players to pick up injuries. So we look forward for those injury reports to see what the status where the Arsenal players are concerned, because we're at the back end of the season now. Injuries are the last thing any team would want.
Yeah, very much so. And Arsenal, they also had Gabriel Jesus coming back into the team today, only played about 45 minutes and was substituted at the start of the second half, I think it was. So hopefully he's going to be fine as well. A lot for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal to think about. But guess what? They're still top of the English Premier League. They're out of the Europa League though. It's Sporting heading through to the last 8.
Let's head to a break.
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.